Alright, so now that the tank is out and it's getting cleaned, we are going to pull the air fuel plug out. I'm going to show you an easy way to do that, and then we're going to take a Dremel and cut a slot into these bolts that you're not supposed to take out, so you can get to the bowl in case you need to clean it, but it's already off, so we're going to do it all in one swoop. You're going to replace them with M4 by 0.7, about 3/4 of an inch, but you can match up the ones that come out. 1mm on the back side, and the threads on the carburetor are actually threaded. They're not that tight. Pause.
Yeah.
So go ahead and pull both of them out. Get your plate. Sit it down here. Slide your bolts out. And then on the back side here, you'll have the crankcase vent. And on this side right here, facing the shifter, you will have the fuel inlet. And then for ease of working, I'm just going to go ahead and pull the slide out. And the drain. So now that our carburetor's out, we're going to take a lighter and a pick. These are 99 cents at Harbor Freight. And just get your pick nice and hot. Pause. Cool. So it's nice and hot. Just go right into the center, let it cool, and pop the plug out. That's all you gotta do. So now you can see down in here is your air fuel screw. And it's supposed to be blocked off for emissions, but we all live other places with different altitudes, so you need to be able to adjust it. Pause it. Go. So, cutting wheel on a Dremel, I pulled the overflow off, just so it's not in the way. I'm going to hold it. We're going to cut this one first. I'm going to cut it towards me over here, and I'll show you as soon as it's done. Okay. And I got a straight screwdriver here. Spin it around so you guys can see it. Alright, I brought it incredibly too large. I have a smaller screwdriver here. Fits like a glove, and just push downward pressure. See if you have that issue, just cut the groove a little deeper. Okay. Okay. There's one. Starting to come loose. We're going to leave it so the bowl stays attached. I'm going to come over to this side and do the exact same thing. Okay, got a decent groove there. Take our screwdriver, just sit it in there, and we're going to push down on it pretty hard just to keep it in the groove. Down and loosen. I don't know if you'll be able to hear it on the camera, but you can hear it pop. Unscrew it. Grab your new ones. Pop it right back in, because we don't need to clean the bowl. We're there. Might as well check it. That tank was pretty nasty. So we cut the bolts. We're gonna pop this out off and just make sure there's no crud in there. There's a little bit of something, but it's not a big deal. Nothing to really worry about. Just gonna wipe it out with a dirty rag. Use a clean one, guys. But that's a dirt. It's all clean. You're gonna match this O-ring with this right here. Make sure it's nice and flush. Drop your new bolts in. And just get it started. Don't snug it up until you have both in. And then just, you'll feel it stop. Same thing on both ends. Now you've de-Californiaized your carburetor. Awesome. So we're going to take our slide, slide it back in, and see there's a groove on this side and a groove on this side. And if you look down in the carburetor, you can see on this side there's a little piece down here. And it wants to sit right on that piece. So we'll pull it back out and show you. So the short notch goes to the clutch, or the choke side. That would be the clutch side too. Just kind of wiggle it around. Oh. I lied. The long notch goes to the choke side, and just kind of wiggle it. And you can see inside there how it's all the way down. There's a little bit of a gap, but when you screw the throttle back on, that gap goes away. So now we're going to gasket to the back, metal, the plastic. Bolt goes through the intake manifold, through the bushing and gasket, or whatever you want to call that, and you start to thread it into the carburetor. Same thing on this side. Gasket to the front, bushing, then the carburetor. Pause. So you just tighten it all down. Just like the drain plug. Not too tight. If you have Loctite, I would put just a little Loctite on these threads. And put your fuel inlet back on. You see? Put your fuel inlet back on right here. And come back here. Run your carburetor overflow back down. Goes through this zip tie and all the way down. If you feel like working it through, do it. If not, just replace it with a new zip tie. And don't forget, your crankcase vent goes right here on the stock air filter. We're going to take that stock crankcase vent and slide it all the way on there. It's just a pinch clamp. Slide it on. Try and make sure it's not kinked, because that will cause issues. Slide it back on. There. Slide the stock air filter back on. And tighten the carburetor. Or tighten the air filter back on.